Starting Elden Ring is daunting. Going out into the lands between without a plan is where most new players fail. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to get started in Elden Ring and give you an insane dexterity build to get you going. I'll be sharing everything you need, and all of this should take no more than 30 minutes. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Now, when picking your starting class, you should go with the Samurai. This will have 15 dexterity and 12 strength to begin with, both of which we need leveled up to be able to use the weapon we're going for. And then pick the Golden Seed as your keepsake to give us an early flask upgrade. The beginning of this route is always the same. Start at the Chapel of Anticipation, get to the Grafted Scion, and either try to kill it or just jump off the edge to get to the tutorial. If you're new to Souls games, then I'd recommend you go through the tutorial, but if you've played before, then head straight into Limgrave. From the first step Grace, head north until you get to the church, and then carry on further north to the Gatefront Grace, where you'll meet Melina, who gives us Torrent, a horse we can use to traverse the map. From there, run straight down to the Gatefront Ruins, pick up the map, and loot the underground chest for the whetstone knife. This allows us to put Ashes of War on our weapons. Ashes of War are basically just skills that either add a unique attack or a buff to your weapon. After you've looted the ruins, head east down the path to the next Grace, and then further down towards the bridge. From the bridge, follow my path to get to another Grace. We don't need this just yet, but we will very soon. After that, go back to the waypoint ruins we just passed, and behind them, you should find a Spirit Spring. These are special elevators that stop us from taking fall damage when jumping into them on Torrent. From the Spirit Spring, we head towards the next part of the map. Stay away from the bears and pick up the next map fragment. Then, keep following the path to get to another church. Inside the church, we get the flask of Wondrous Physick, an additional flask that allows us to apply extra buffs to our character. And make sure to pick up the Sacred Tear, which increases the effectiveness of our flask. After that, teleport back to the first church and talk to Ranni the Witch. She tells us some lore, and most importantly, gives us the Spirit Calling Bell, which lets us summon spirits to fight for us. Our next step is to talk to this merchant. Buy the crafting kit from him, and then ask him about the Howling in Mistwood. He tells us a story and gives us a gesture. After that, equip the gesture on the quick menu and teleport back to the forest to look for some more ruins. You'll know when you're near when you hear someone howling. Once you're at the ruins, use your new gesture next to the big tower. A tall guy with a wolf mask jumps down. We talk to him and then head back toward the giant tree in the forest, where we can find 2 buffs for our physick. Once you have everything you need, we're ready for our first interesting boss fight. Teleport to the site of Grace we activated earlier and head up the hill behind it towards this circle in the ground. You'll see these circles all over the map, and it means there's an optional boss you can fight. So if you're feeling confident, head into the fight. Next to where you spawn in, there should be a golden summon sign. Make sure to summon our new wolf friend to carry you through the fight. Once he's in the fight, run towards the purple area to summon the boss. Once the boss goes down, you'll be rewarded the Bloodhound's Fang, the main weapon we'll be using, and one of the best weapons in the game. Also, make sure to talk to the wolf guy after the fight, as he'll give us a Somber stone, which we can use to upgrade our new weapon. Next up, we need to focus on upgrading our new weapon. So, head to the Gatefront site of Grace and follow my path to sneak around Stormvale Castle and get into Liurnia. When you rest at the site of Grace, Melina should interrupt you and take you to the Roundtable Hold. There, you'll find a bunch of other characters and, most importantly, the blacksmith, who will be upgrading our weapon for us very soon. Alright, after that, teleport back to Liurnia. Ride past the church and the small camp until you get to another site of grace. Now, our next target is to uncover the map. So, follow the path to the map, but be careful, as it's guarded by a bunch of these enemies. The best way is to stay on Torrent and try and sneak from behind. After that, keep following the path to find 2 more sites of grace and the next map fragment. We should now have a full view of Liurnia on our map. Then, you'll notice this small island on the map. This is where we're headed next. There's an important buff for our weapon there. Once you get to the island, go to the right side and look for the scarabs. There's 2, but we only want the one that's further away. Destroy it, and you'll get Blood Flame Blaidd, a buff that deals fire damage and increases our weapon's bleed buildup. From there, head to this next island, where we'll find an important buff for our Physick. This one boosts our Dexterity, which will increase our Fang's damage. Now for a long run, go back to the Academy Gate Town Grace and follow my path northwest. Once you get to the ruins, grab the map, and when you reach the dead end, just hit the wall with your sword, and it'll disappear. Rest at the Grace, and then talk to the giant. He sells Somber smithing stones, but we're too poor for those right now. So let's go and get some runes. Fast travel to the 3rd Church of Marika, and just behind it, there will be a teleporter. Take the teleporter and you'll end up in Blaidd. Blaidd is full of rot and dangerous new enemies, and fighting them is not a good idea right now. Just run straight down the hill, grab the golden seed and then the Grace. Activate the Grace, then cross the bridge. Don't try fighting the dragon, just run straight past it. Once you've left the bridge, turn slightly left until you see a small graveyard. Take the runes from the graves, and then take the spirit spring down the cliff to get your next Grace. Then, we want to change the time to night for a special boss to spawn, the Knight's Cavalry. We can easily defeat this boss by baiting it to jump off the bridge. Just copy what I do, and you should be able to net yourself 42,000 runes. But don't rush to level up just yet. Teleport back to the giant and buy one of each of the Somber stones. Then for stats, we need 12 Faith, 10 Arcane, around 15 Vigor, and everything else into Strength and Dexterity. And for the final part of the setup, teleport back to the First Step's Site of Grace and head east towards some more ruins. Find the basement of the ruins and kill all the rats in there. Then open the chest at the end. This chest is actually a trap. It teleports you into a mine in Blaidd. We need to get out of this mine, which is harder than it sounds. There are pest enemies shooting threads at you. Just keep dodging and hope for the best. Then we drop down, activate the Grace, and leave through the tunnel. Once outside, stick to the right side and follow the cliff until you find an opening. Go through it, and at the end, there should be a ball of heads next to a somber stone 5. After we pick it up, teleport back to the round table and upgrade your Fang. Also, don't forget to buy a seal from the twins. You need this to cast Blood Flame Blaidd on your weapon. And now you're ready to start taking on some real bosses. You're kitted out with an insane strength and dexterity build that you can use throughout the rest of the game. Hopefully this guide helped you get started in your Elden Ring journey. And be sure to let me know what you think about the setup. Thanks for watching this video, and if it's helped you out, be sure to drop a like and consider subscribing for more Elden Ring content like this.